Bull or bear? I'm rolling a 17.99 Spanish 8 real coin. Comes up a bear. And somebody recently asked me how I determine a bear or a bull on these coins. Well, I pretty much figure on every coin I roll, the bull is going to be the obverse of the coin and the bear is going to be the reverse. I picked that a long time ago. It's just sticking with it. And yeah, bear. Let's see what happens tonight on the opening here. It's a beautiful day in my neighborhood. And it is a beautiful day out there, folks. Take a look at that, man. Got to get my boat going so I can get back out. They're going to repower up. Got to put new motors on there. Expensive venture, but way cheaper than buying a new boat. But man, absolutely gorgeous. There goes someone out there. Not a fishing boat, pleasure craft, but that looks like some fun. All right, well, it's been I hope you're having a wonderful day too, and I hope your weekend was great, and 4th of July was good, and you got all your fingers and all that good stuff. Got a chance to spend it with your family and your friends, because that's really what it's all about, your family and your friends and your neighbors and the people around you. All right, well, let's take a look here, and man, I think this would be a great flag for me to put up on my, or not a flag, but a banner for me to put up on my videos for the next year, because it has been I guess I could say about this about my life, and all of you could say the same thing. What a long, strange trip it's been. And if you consider long the last decade or two and what we've seen going on politically, as far as the psychology of people out there and the mindset, I mean, just everything. What a strange trip it's been. And we're going to get into that in a moment. I'm going to talk a little bit about politics and stuff as well. But first, let's talk about what the markets are doing, because that's why you're here, right? But is there any surprise? Are any of you surprised at all whatsoever of where markets are right now? That gold's at 23.91.52. Silver's at 31.25. That was on Friday's close, and platinum breaking over $1,000. Again, platinum was a tell for me last week. I was kind of watching. I saw platinum up in the green on Friday or Thursday or something. Even though U.S. markets were closed, I saw platinum up, and I said, well, and silver down a little bit, and gold down a little bit. I said, well, that's my tell. As you know, for the last couple of years, I have kind of seen, well, I watch markets on a daily basis, like freaking almost nonstop, 5 days a week, and then I have a tendency, I can't help it, but watch the overnight markets when they open on Sundays, or the world markets. So I have noticed for a long time that when I've seen silver in the red and gold in the red, that and platinum in the green, it's typically, means that or it's followed up with silver and gold being higher, especially silver, the white metals there, being at a higher price. And that's what I saw, and I kind of pegged it on Thursday. I said, I think we're going to see a higher silver price on Friday, and I believe that's true. And I don't think the coin's right on this. I think the coin said a bear today, and I think we're going to see a higher market tonight. Let's see what happens. It could drop back a little bit. We did see some freaking fluctuations last week, $1 and $2 fluctuations one way or another. And the flush that we saw to $29 basically was just a weak attempt by the big commercials to knock this silver price back down. They weren't able to do it, obviously. I mean, we did see some intraday lows, and again, we were sub $30 for a little while, but bam, right back to where we were above that $30 mark. I'm saying that the $29 silver is the new $19 silver, more or less, and that we're going to go through these fluctuations probably for a little bit until these assholes cover their naked short positions in the creepy derivative market run by COMEX, the crooked criminals at COMEX. Oh, at least that's my opinion. But again, we don't have to talk about that. That's something you all know by now. And so silver, 31.25. Where do we go from here? We're going to see some moves up to the $35 mark. I'm really quite surprised that we're seeing it this late, kind of in the summer, because typically summer months are a little bit quiet. And if anything, gold and silver markets typically get hammered in these summer months. And let me knock on my wooden head, because we're still in it right now. We still may get hammered down a little bit, but I don't believe that we're going to see sub $19, I mean, sorry, $29 silver too much. Again, I feel it's like that same place we were at, and a lot of you remember this when we were in that 1920 range, and then we'd see 25, and then 1920, and then 25. And at some point, you break through that 25 and you're up to $30. So here we are again. We're breaking through that, I believe, what I'm going to call the next level. And I think, I think the next couple levels we may see may be explosively higher. I think that's very possible. Let's see what happens. So markets are doing quite well. Silver looks like it wanted to touch that 24 mark, but not quite. And again, silver just, gold touching that 24 mark. Silver just bopping all over the place, and platinum holding above that $1,000 mark. Again, let's see what happens in the overnight markets. But what does this mean to my silver and gold stacking friends out there? Well, prices out there. I mean, premiums are still pretty damn good. The wholesale bid and asks, which I'm kind of privy to, obviously, as a dealer, and the wholesale bid and asks have tightened up quite a bit. They're not as far as they were. I'm not saying they're great or anything like that, but the wholesale bid and ask have tightened up. As far as silver goes, Silver Eagles are still, and I hate to bag on Silver Eagles all the time. Beautiful product, Buy America, of course. And again, great made product, just overpriced, man. Look what they're getting. By the way, I'm Commercial Rare Coins, and here's my advertising. Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals. If you're looking to buy gold, silver, and platinum in any amounts, give us a call. We're a brick and mortar store here in South Florida. We're the place to go to if you are in South Florida. And if you're not, and you're looking to buy larger quantities, we can work with you using wires and typical mailing, the old-fashioned method. We don't have a website, though. Okay, now that that's over, let me, Silver Eagles, just overpriced, just crazy overpriced, all right? Where are we at on spot prices? I just said we were 31.25. Okay, let me do some math here for you. 31.25. I'll still beat the prices on here. Let me just kind of tell you where I'm at on these things currently. And where are we? Silver walking. So let me check out their price. That's not a bad price, actually. It looks like a lost leader price, but let's see what we got there. How much over or under is that? 31.25. That is $3.86 over. If you're buying larger quantities, which I suspect that is 4, we can beat that. But as you can see, it's still, that's like spot plus $4 and $5. And by the way, that's not a bad money. Let's take a look at them, by the way. I shouldn't be advertising for other people. Well, 1 ounce Walking Liberty silver. No, that's not the same thing, damn it. That's a 1 ounce round, and that's kind of cheaply priced. Okay, I blew that one, folks. 31.25, 5. Anyways, that's a 1 ounce round. That kind of fooled me a little bit. I was saying, how could they get them that low? That's like at wholesale or less. But in large quantities, you could buy them for that level, theoretically. But that's 1 ounce rounds. So look what they're getting for $40 freaking dollars. Our price, 31.25, for just small quantities on Silver Eagles. We're charged 36.25, so we're loads cheaper than all these people right here on Silver Eagles. But still, it's overpriced. I wouldn't even be happy, comfortable selling you Silver Eagles at $36.25 over. I'd rather sell you these 1 ounce rounds. I'm sorry, I mistook that for a Silver Eagle earlier, and the price was just blowing my mind. I said, man, that's a loss leader. But 1 ounce rounds, which let's see, which would be this product right here, which is way cheaper than these Silver Eagles. And what can I sell you the 1 ounce rounds for here? Let's take a look here. Was 31.20. Whoop, sorry about that. Sorry, I should have had this math done for you already, but you can hear the calculator working in the background, and that is a real calculator. $33.15 is what I sell my 1 ounce rounds for. Money Metals is selling for $35.11. SD might be about the same, a little bit less. I can beat the pants off all these people, folks. But again, Silver Eagles overpriced. 1 ounce rounds are not overpriced. And I'll kind of show you what 1 ounce rounds for you newbies out there. 1 ounce rounds would be these type of things. Buffaloes, there you go, Money Metals Exchange. Morgan 1 ounce rounds. Man, I could beat the pants off these guys easily. All these products right here, are better deals than would be Silver Eagles, that's for sure. So what's in... as far as silver maple leafs go, where are those at right now? Let me take a look for you. Silver maple leafs. And give you some numbers on those. Silver maples, because I'm a slow one-finger typer. I got one hand in a cast, by the way, or a, not a cast, but some kind of splint. Not moving that one too well. Even if I had it working well, I still type with one hand. All right, and let's see here. Silver maples. Now, that's a different kind of maple. Oh, beautiful, right? Silver maple leaf coins. Maybe type in coins there. Hopefully that pulls up. There you go. Silver maple leaf coins. There's the typical varieties that you're going to get in silver maples. I believe as far as sovereign coins, those are going to probably be. Let's see, where are silver maples at? Are they even available out there? Yeah, they're available. You know, spot plus $3. That's not too bad, actually, on silver maple leaves. I'm not sure what's available out there in Britannian Krugerrands, but, you know, again, before you bought silver eagles, and if you have to buy something that you feel is like made from a sovereign country, you know, it has a denomination, silver maple leaves are probably the next best deal at $3. Is what we're selling them for, and again, $3 over is still a hell of a lot cheaper than what these guys sell them for. So if you're looking for a good deal on any silver and gold products, make sure you check out Commercial Ware Coins and Precious Metals. It's my brick and mortar store here in South Florida. We're open 10 to 4 Mondays through Fridays, and we'll beat the prices of SD, JM, Money, Metals, all these guys here on gold and silver products. We got good prices here, folks. And let's see, where are we going from here? 90% constitutional silver. Now, I want to bring up one thing. There we go. Junk constitutional silver is what most people call it. Prices have come down substantially on that. We can sell to you that, again, beat the pants off all these guys here, but we can sell you this stuff at spot plus maybe $1.50 over, which is way cheaper than, you know, when we were looking at spot plus $3 and $4 on 90, and I was telling you it was overpriced then. I was telling people sell your silver eagles when they were way high, and the premiums were high, not the silver price, and sell your 90% and buy 1 ounce rounds. You'd be way better off. You'll have more 1 ounce rounds. And a lot of you did that trade. I made a lot of you guys money with doing that trade, getting rid of your silver eagles when the premiums, when the buy prices were crazy, and then converting it over to just less expensive products. But anyways, 90 has come down. Silver eagles, not so much. So 90 represents a pretty good deal right now, but I'd still rather go for things like the 100-ounce bars, you know, 100-ounce silver bars and stuff. 100-ounce, there we go, 100-ounce, there we go, silver bars. There's some gold bars there too, which you typically don't see in hundreds. You see them in kilos and stuff, but 100-ounce silver bars at spot plus like $1.50 is what we'd sell them for. You know, 1 ounces are like $1.90 over. Kilos at like a spot plus. Where are we on kilos right now? Spot plus like $1.50. You can't beat that. But again, when you compare it to silver eagles at spot plus $5, yeah, you know, silver eagles are too expensive, folks. Just stay away from them. Trust me on that. And you know, the premium is so wide right now between the wholesale bids and ask that you really can't even take advantage of the bids right now. There's not enough sales out there that the bids are going to be so high that it's worth doing the trade. Maybe in the large quantities, so I could make that trade work for you, but it's not a lot of money behind it at the moment. As far as gold, what's the best deal out there? Without a doubt, it's Krugerrands. I probably spelled it wrong, but forgive me. There we go. Krugerrands there, and I did spell it wrong. I did 2 G's and I said 2 R's. I knew I did that. Krugerrands are spot plus, like, man. Depending on the quantities, you know, on even for like one, we've got them at spot plus, what is it, $75 or something like that. But in large quantities, man, I can beat the prices of any of those guys out there selling these gold and silver type products here in South Florida, including the locals. But Krugerrands are the best deal. Don't pay any more than spot plus $70 for them in small quantities, that's for sure. You know, eagles have gotten better priced too. I mean, you know, you can't complain about, they're like spot plus 120, and again, in larger quantities, I can get them substantially cheaper than that when you're starting to buy them in like 10, 20, 40, or 50 at a time. I can beat the pants off the locals down here and the guys online as well. If you can't find a good local dealer like myself, again, you're buying larger quantities, you can't find a good local dealer in your town or your city or wherever you're at, give me a call. We do deal with people on the phone and through secure methods for bank wires, blah, 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 and shipping and stuff like that for you guys that are looking to deal with someone that, you know, again, I don't have a website, but if you don't have a good dealer in town, but if you live in South Florida, man, I'm the place to come to. All right, man, I did 3 advertising today. I'm pretty good. Finally, there's videos I don't even talk about myself or my business. Someone said to me the other day, you got to talk about your business a little bit more, Brian. All right, anyways, what's the best deal out there besides that? You know, all the gold products are pretty cheap, man. I got to tell you, though, you could not find a better time to buy Swiss 20 francs, gold sovereigns, 1 ducats, German 20 marks. All of these products are really super cheap. You know, $1 or $5 gold commemoratives. You know, the $5 gold commems. Let's see here if it pops up like that. Yeah, all these $5 gold commemoratives right here. These are U.S. made products, super cheap, man. You couldn't. They're almost a quarter ounce, 0.2354. They're the same as a regular $5 gold piece made in the 1800s and 1900s. Same weight, same planchet, same shape and size and metal and all that stuff. Made by the U.S. Mint. But if you want to buy fractionals, there's no better time to buy these things. You can get them really good prices on this stuff. I mean, not much over the melt value, you know, compared to quarter ounce gold eagles and other quarter ounce products. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, the same thing applies to $1 U.S. Silver commems. U.S. silver commems. I mean, these are silver dollars, folks. These are real silver dollars. The same U.S. Mint that made the Morgan dollars through the 1800s and 1900s and proof sets and mint sets and makes silver eagles is the same people that make these things. It's U.S. Mint product, but it's not 999. It's not 1 ounce. It's the same as a U.S. Morgan dollar. These contain the same amount of silver dollar as one of these, a Morgan dollar. Listen, I'm going to put that in for you just for the visual. Same amount of silver, 0.77 ounces, more or less. And made by the same people. And they represent a great deal because you can get those, and again, I know I was in gold time, but you like melt plus $3, you know, $2 to $3 over melt, depending on the quantity that you're buying. You can buy these. And you can also get them in the original packaging a lot of times, like that. There's the original packaging. You know, I typically throw the original packaging away because it takes too much space, and there's so many different ones that you can collect. You know, for stackers, I mean, I don't understand why they're not more popular. I mean, they like ugly 90% Franklins and dimes and quarters, but they're kind of don't buy this stuff. But it really is a great deal out there. All right, well, I've gotten through what good deals are. I want to talk about what's going on and out there in the real world and the politics of things and what's happening right now, because this all has to do and has to play in with what the gold and silver prices are going to do. And folks, I think we're getting close to that takeoff time. I mean, let's just talk about like the bad debate that happened this week. All right, I think no one summed it up better than Rob Snyder. He's a comedian out there. I saw this on his X page right here. Saying Biden had a bad debate is like saying that Hindenburg had a bad landing. And damn, man, he pretty much nailed that. He landed that one. But it's true, you know. The spin, this just kind of got me off into this whole thing of, you know, what I wanted to talk about today. And forgive me, let me get a little sip of coffee here. And it has a lot to do with the price of gold and silver, too, because it's all about trust. It's all about trust and faith. And that's what gold and silver is all about. Gold and silver is all about trust and faith and money. And it is money. It's been around for 5,000 years. And that's what U.S. dollar was about, trust and faith, until we weaponized it. And again, I beat that horse to death for the last 2 years, the weaponization of the U.S. dollar, which now just seems to be a new thing to a lot of YouTubers out there. Talking heads, oh, the dollar's weaponized. They've been talking about it for the last 3 or 4 months. It's kind of a quiet subject now, but you know, I was talking about this 2 years ago plus. You know, it's going to bite us in the ass, and it has. Not to mention endless printing of money. All right. That's hit us in the ass. And what does this have to do with the bad debate? Well, it has to do with bad leadership. And that's what we've got going on all over the world, is bad leadership. We don't pick great candidates. We don't have any great candidates. I mean, even the 2 that we're looking at currently, I mean, the slate of candidates we have right now, we don't... Good candidates? No, we don't get smart candidates. And I'm, you know, I could go off into my opinion that people don't pick candidates, they're picked for us, and I believe that's very much true, especially for the Blue Party. The Blue Party definitely, obviously, if the convention had, or not the convention, but if the voting for Democrat process to figure out who was going to be president or run for president would have been legit, Bernie Sanders would be, like him or hate him, Bernie Sanders should have been the president, all right? But we know that that whole thing was fixed, all right? I mean, even the DNC says it was fixed. And you know what the excuse was for them screwing Bernie's out of the nomination? And again, Bernie would have been president now, trust me. Bernie would have been president now, all right? But the DNC's explanation, and people that I know work at DNC, well, it's not against the law for them to finagle things to go the way they want. That's cheating, folks, all right? So let's go from there. Who would have been president? And again, Bernie, a good choice? Hell no. I'm not even saying Bernie's a good choice. What I am saying is that, I mean, folks, it's just one lie after another. It's just one cheat. And then the gaslighting that I've seen the American public go through, and the world probably go through with their own leaders. It's just been incredible. Incredible. The lying, the mirroring, okay? I mean, and just, I mean, bold-faced stuff like that, all right? So let's just get into why Biden had a debate. Because first off, he should have never been there to begin with. Bernie should have been there. But, we can go back and say how long elections have had problems and how long elections have been not potentially, they have been. I mean, think about that old thing you heard when you were a kid about people in Chicago voting twice, or dead people voting. That ain't untrue, folks. It's been happening for a long time, to some degree to another, and to a severity, a lesser severity to what we've seen in 2020, the high severity of that. And more than likely, the only reason Biden had gotten office because of, he shouldn't have been there, folks, all right? So, and am I saying that the other candidate is better? No, not at all. I mean, did anyone watch the debate? I mean, it was like, when you make the red guy, when you make T-Man, Trump, look really smart, when you make Trump look smart, folks, we have gotten to a new level of low IQ and the inability to, and I'm not saying that because he's a bad person. I think he's got good intent, but best candidates that we can come up with, these guys, really? And one had to cheat to get there? That's the only reason he's in office? And here, now I'm going to start getting into the debate part of it. I'm just getting into how we get here. And for, decades and decades, I believe after Kennedy, the deep state actually runs who's president and runs the parties, but that's a whole separate story, and you can throw that in my conspiracy theory. But I got to tell you, my conspiracies have been pretty much 99.9% right when I have brought them up. Back when I was talking about weaponizing the U.S. dollar, I was called a fool. Back when I was talking about the problem with the vax in 2020 and closures, I was called a fool. Now, I mean, I ain't stupid, folks. And I know, again, this man shouldn't have been where he's at. He should not have been at this. Listen, even if he had won the election fairly, beating who should have been in his position, Sanders, who I don't agree with at all anyways, and kind of glad he wasn't there, all right? But if he had legitimately beat Sanders, Biden wouldn't be there. I mean, because he wouldn't have won. And if he had legitimately beat the T-Man in the 2020 election, Biden wouldn't be there. And here's the biggest reason Biden wouldn't be here at all, because we knew, everybody saw it, that the man wasn't out campaigning during his election. He was hiding in a room. He was already starting to show signs of that dementia. We were talking about it back then, but we were being gaslit, lied to. They were telling us, that's not what you see, folks. Here, don't look here. That's not, he had a bad day, or this or that, or if you were, folks, we've been lied to. And again, not just about elections, not just about this, all right? And again, let me phase back into, what does this have to do with the price of gold and silver? Faith. faith and trust in the institutions. And there is no longer any faith and trust in the institution of our U.S. government right now. I have faith and trust in the Constitution. I just don't have faith and trust in people that are currently running our governments. And it seems to be a bunch of bureaucrats and departments that start with letters, okay? But again, I digress again, all right? But the reason you own gold and silver is because of the lack of faith and stuff. And why do you have lack of faith? Well, again, here we go. And there's some people, folks, out there, like, for example, my trainer at my gym, he doesn't really, it doesn't bother him too much, okay? The lies, why? Because he watches ABC. He doesn't have cable account, CBS, NBC, and some people watch it, listen to their, and they're not bad people, folks, but they get their source of information is from really bad places that mix in a lot of truth with really some heavy bad lies, okay? I mean, take a look at this. Does anybody really believe that this person offed himself? Nobody does. No, I mean, no. They want you to believe that, and again, the news cycle is so fast, and the media cycle is so fast, which leads me to believe that, this is a big psychological experiment. The news media and what's going on out there, and we're all just sheep being led to slaughter. But anyways, that's, again, I'm jumping down a different rabbit hole here, but the level of lies and deception and the level of all this stuff, it just blows my mind. With the Biden's cover-up of his health over the last 4 years. Cover up my butt. It's not a cover-up. It's what now they are acting like they didn't know, folks. The people running the show are pretending that they didn't know Biden was like this. They're throwing him under the bus, and Biden is not really going under the bus easily. Apparently, he's fighting and clawing, and so are the people, and you can't blame them. They want to stay there. But Biden's being thrown under the bus by the deep state. Abso-freaking-lutely. And you can define deep state as in parties, as in lettered agencies, as in moneyed interest, as in the bureaucracy that runs Washington, D.C. and the federal government, who employs more people than I think any corporation does, the federal government does. So, I mean, that ought to tell you something right there, folks, why we are where we are right now. It's a shit show, and it's being run by a bunch of really misguided people, or bad people, or corrupt people, and/or morons. All right, and/or. How's that? So, and what does this have to do with the price of gold and silver? Trust, folks, and trust me. Owning precious metals, it's a good thing to do based on the environment that we're in, and we're going to see this more and more. Like, I mean, this is news to people. Oh, it must be impeached, but. Man. And what's the next new distraction that's going to be out there? Well, unfortunately, the distractions we have out there are wars, but wars have not, I mean, I think they thought that Ukraine was going to do it and distract us all and distract the whole world. Bad Putin and bad, whoever agrees with Putin, and bad, and take the focus off the real screwing that this country is getting from these people in Washington, D.C. and the deep state and the bureaucracy that runs it. But folks, again, what does this have to do with the price of gold and silver? I'll let you repeat it. Trust, right? Trust issues. And faith in the government, and trust and faith has everything to do with the U.S. dollar, folks, all right? Anyways, I could go into this for a little while. How much BS is out there? We'll just take a run through ZH, and you'll see a lot of that. And then all you got to do is just read between the lines, folks. If you're watching corporate media, always read between the lines, because they drop in truth, and then they drop in these huge lies with it. They mix in the lies, and that's where we're at today. What else do we got to go here? Well, I'm not going to make it too long. I just kind of wanted to go into that, why you own gold and silver and what's going on, and here's the weird thing is that where do we go from here? I mean, it seems pretty evident, unless they take the man out, that Trump's going to win this whole thing, but where, presidents, I'm not going to say they're figureheads. They're very powerful figures because they can put us in wars, and they hold the keys to that little suitcase. So, I mean, they are powerful figures, but when are we going to start putting intelligent people in office, folks? When? When are we going to do that? I don't think we're going to get it from a two-party system. That's why I've always been kind of saying we need to throw a third party in there. But, you know, where do we go from here? And that's my biggest fear. And again, I think this fear plays into, you know, the reason that we're going to see more and more people buying gold and silver, the fear. And the fear is the lack of trust and faith in something they've always had trust and faith in, which was the US dollar. All right. I'm going to move into something else here, which is last week's video. Over a week, 13 days ago. Sorry about that, folks. I'm just getting lazy and old, I guess. Anyways, it was a tribute to Ted Butler. His last words he said to me, now that's a little misnomer. My video editor put that in there. You know, it was the words that he had sent to his subscribers, and I had posted up there, and my video guy said that was. Anyways, I'd like to thank all of you for the tribute to Ted Butler out there. I believe that Mr. Butler was one of the greatest assets at to the silver community in general. You know, the physical track, not the derivative bullshit commercial banks, but who he was a great enemy to and nemesis for decades and decades. You know, this man, you know, told the whole world. He stood up when nobody listened and when everyone called him a crackpot. And he said, here's the numbers, here's the data that's showing that the big commercials are cheating. And then finally, you know, it took convictions like almost $1 billion fine to JPM and more fines and Deutsche Bank and Citi and all these banks getting charged with spoofing gold markets and silver markets before people started to actually catch on and listen to Ted Butler to what he was saying. And started to figure out he was right, although many were, and still to this day, are too stubborn to admit it and don't like to give him the cred that he deserves, that he is the grandfather of not manipulation, but of exposing the manipulation to the whole world. He is. This is the man that not just started the seed, but for decades watered it and grew it, and it's a seed of truth that these markets run by COMEX, my opinion, and his data to prove it, are completely rigged, folks, all right? And if it's in the silver market, you better damn well guarantee it's in all the other markets. The CME group, the derivative markets, allows these big banks to go in there and just monkey hammer these markets around, whatever they want to do, the big money they can. And silver market is such a small market that they can be an 800-pound gorilla, you know, in a room full of pigeons. Really, that's it. They can go wherever they want. And Ted Butler pointed it out, and again, a great loss to the silver community out there. I'm going to miss you, Ted. I miss your newsletters already, to be quite frank with you. I hope someone is able to do what you do and go through COT reports, read this stuff, and you know, do what you did. And anyways, a lot of appreciation to you, sir. Anyway, I'd like to thank everybody that commented on that, and let's see how many comments are here. Maybe I can kind of go over a few of them. Not too many, actually. I'd like to thank everybody that saw that could see the value in what Ted offered the world and what he actually has done. Ted started this whole a group of people, and Ted planted this seed of truth that allows the world to know that's growing into a tree and getting bigger and bigger, that's exposing this criminality in the COMEX markets, especially with silver. But again, Zane, Hager, all you folks, I'm sorry, Jake Shaw, 415, Jeff Keller, Jacob, but all you folks, really thank you so much. And again, we're all going to miss Ted Butler here for sure. Well, I think that's really about it. Here, let me. This fact score comes in and that includes silver prices. Great metal that's extremely useful. No one has given it away for that. Okay. Anyways, pretty cool stuff. I love you guys' comments out there, and I hope you guys keep commenting out there and keep watching the videos. By the way, hit that like and share button, please. I appreciate that, and subscribe button, more importantly. And keep the word of Ted out there. Let people know how these markets are manipulated and who does it. Don't ever forget that. All right, folks, that's it. This is Brian Kuzma with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals saying think for yourself and question authority. And most of all, when you're thinking for yourself, question what you think you know, because sometimes we've been lied to since birth, folks, and we're lied to this day, even on bigger levels, as we just talked about. Question what you think you know. It may not be correct. All right, before you start questioning other people, and the resources are out there for you to do it. But that's it. I won't go into the details of that. You know what to do. And this is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Ware Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. If you're looking to buy gold, silver, and platinum, and rare coins and other cool stuff too as well, I've been doing this for decades and decades. Our store's been here a long time. We'll beat APMEX, SD, JM, Market Metals, whoever, even the big boys out there. The only thing we don't have is we don't have a website. Look, you can't really order things on our website, but if you're buying if you don't have a good local deal that you can buy large quantities from, don't order from the guys online. Call me and I'll hook you up there real good. If you are currently buying online, you live in South Florida, you don't need to come see us face to face. We can talk to you. I always like dealing with people one-on-one. So we're here if you need us, and that's what we do. All right, folks, that's it. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my Sunday. I hope you do too. Let's see what happens in the markets. The coin says down, I say up, and let's see who's right this week or by tomorrow. Bye now. Have a good day.